Hey, yo, what is up, everybody? It is the King Hitman here, and as you guys now, Global and JP found out together, it's good. I really prefer it this way because the idea of both sides of the game being blindsided like this is very fun. I like it a lot. But as you guys know, we have gotten the red zone for the Dismal Future edition, right? The Dismal Future sagas, stories, enemies, bosses, whatever. We've gotten that recently, and with these bosses, they're not sweet. These are only stage 1 and 2 at the time of this recording. We only have 1 and 2. I would do a full reaction, but I'm really still in shock because when I did my stream and I was trying to, I figured I would, stage 1 and 2, it's like Turles and Slug or like Lude and what's like Lude and Legic or something, and I'm thinking like, oh, I could walk through these. These stages are actually some of the harder stages in the game, and Cell, this first form Cell, is most certainly, for me, right now, today, the hardest fight I have fought since Cell Max came out, which is which in my eyes is just a simulation event. I stopped viewing it as I guess immediately I stopped viewing it as a normal content run. But this Cell, among like typical bosses, not like some super absurd, he's beatable. It's not like he's one-shotting you, one killing you. He just hits incredibly hard. He's wearing you down, and if you're not using items, you're gonna feel the brunt of it the very first few turns or later in the fight, depending on how your units are built. I want to go over him. I want to compare him to what people were calling the hardest fight in the game. He ain't that to me personally. Ascension Ron wasn't really giving me huge problems, but the whole point is you can't bring every unit in there. You can only bring the very best of the best, or units that are well equipped for the fight, and I understand that. So I'm not gonna play him, but he didn't feel like the hardest fight in the game my first night playing him. This this first form Cell right now, I couldn't beat him with my best teams, and I'm going to explain what he's doing and what's going on. So starting off with the androids, we start off with 18. She has 20 million HP, 380,000 attack, and it's not crazy. You put your Gamma 1s, you put your Piccolos, your LR Ultimate Gohans, they'll be okay. They'll be able to tank that. Keep in mind, she does have a Key Blast Super. I, throughout the night, was using LR Ultimate Gohan in those slots where I felt like a super was coming, and he was nullifying it. Like, Ultimate Gohan gets a lot of flack. I'm not trying to defend him, but it is what it is. He was getting situations where he was literally taking the 0 damage from these massive super attacks, which she starts off by doing a milli. So yeah, try to pay attention. This isn't a cakewalk at all. This isn't the AGL Broly fight or Cell Max. You have time to warm up. She's hitting for a mil, cuz a mil stack. Like, it's bad. So I was nullifying it with Gohan in certain events or certain situations, and it was helping me out a lot. And then you move on. She has an 11% chance to super, by the way. It felt rare. I didn't feel like she was over supering. 17, however, was aggressive. 17 has 25 million HP, 420,000 attack, 58% damage reduction. He hits 5 times a turn. He has 1 million on his super attack. Also, he's a bit more prone to doing it. He has a 15% chance to super instead of an 11% chance. My concern, because I walked into this blind, this is my first time looking at all the stats. My first time I'm walking in, I was worried that 18 was passive because 17 was going to double super. So I had no idea what was going on, right? I didn't have like physical Piccolo on all of my runs to have my scouter up. I was worried 17 was gonna double super. I was like, she kind of passive. Like, she kind of playing it soft. Why is she being so soft? And then I was paranoid, but no, he only supers 1 time apparently, so that's fine. 17 and 18 caught me off guard. They were hitting hard, and I had faith that my Gamma 1 would be able to tank. I had faith that Orange Piccolo would be able to tank. Like, I had faith in certainly, well, Orange Piccolo was more about, this is the thing, all right? My team was set up. I was running a movie hero team, and I was running a STR 8-year anniversary team. I was running iterations of that, and then I was running physical Goku's team too, with like mixtures of whatever, right? And I was trying to run through the android. I wasted 1 run because I hopped in and hopped out because I had 3 Gokus on 1 rotation. So that was literally the worst possible thing that could have happened. So I wasn't about to play that game. So I wasted 1 run. I tried it 4 times. Now, this is the thing. I felt fine. Then I would get to 17 and then I would realize, oh crap, all of my intro buffs have worn off by the time I reach 17, because 18 isn't like easy to kill per se. Like, she doesn't have a massive pool of HP, but she was taking long enough to kill with this, Orange Piccolo, the Power Awakening. He wants to get hit a couple times before he's able to do like a 9, 10, 14, 18 million attacks that LR Ultimate Gohan was doing well, but I mean 6 million, even when it's super effective, isn't like a massive dent. So my units wanting to Gamma 1, Gamma 2, my units wanting to warm up, they weren't in situations where I could kill her in a turn or two. It was taking me 3 turns. Then turn 4, I would get this happen multiple times. Turn 4, I got to 17. My intro buffs would be worn off. He would do this 1.05 mil super. I'm dead. It was a wrap. Like, there was nothing. Orange Piccolo, let's just say it might have been turn 5. And now, like, if his intro buff was off, I'm dead. Gohan, like I said, Gohan was fine. I didn't really get frustrated with LR Ultimate Gohan at all. He felt well equipped for the fight. However, I didn't end up in a situation where I was struggling for Ki so badly that his defense was going to get exposed. So I'm sure if you like are really missing orbs, it's going to add up eventually. It's going to catch up to you, I guess. You're going to slip. But that wasn't happening to me with Ultimate Gohan. We were getting our physical orbs. He was at least doing, his 12 Ki, or he would do an 18, then a 12. You guys know how he is. The androids, I was getting packed, bro. Like, Gamma 1 couldn't handle it. Obviously, Gamma 2 wasn't going to do anything about it. I was hoping Gamma 1 would, like, counter it. He has his nullification counter. He didn't do it, so we died. Who else was taking a lot of damage? I think... Who did I run? Because I tried... Oh, you know what it was? I tried to run AGL. I was goofing off. Like I said, I thought this fight was going to be easy. I was goofing off with AGL Kale and AGL Kale and Caulifla's EZA. And I bought them... They were separate on rotations, so I kind of forced myself to tank it. Bro, when I got to this last stage, I was already cooked. Like, it was done. There was nothing Kale and Caulifla could do to stack fast enough. So I'm pretty sure they got obliterated one of my runs. In another situation, I was trying to run Vegito Blue. His dodge turn is really good, but the key just wasn't working on my team, so that ended up falling apart eventually. I did run the 8-year LRs in here. My key was really bad that night. Like, I have it on stream. If you really want to go watch it, I'm not asking you to. I'm just letting y'all know. My key was terrible. So I was getting booked by them. It was really rough, man. I have not beaten this stage. I used all 5 of my runs. Like I said, I wasted one. I have not beaten this stage. I have to reapproach it later on today. It's bad, man. Speaking of humbled, for the first time in a long time, I was... For an enemy I hadn't beaten yet. Not talking like running back into it. Mind you, I'm no iteming these. Like, I don't use items. If you're wondering why I'm losing, I was trying not to use... I shouldn't say I don't use items. I wasn't using items last night. So I was... Like I was taking pure damage. My units that need to build up, I thought they would be able to build up in the phase 1 of 18. It wasn't happening. And then I had to realize it by the 3rd try. I was like, okay... 17 and 18 separately. Oh man, this is not easy. Now, they raised their defense on... I mean, it's not massive. Like, it's not a massive change. It's just enemies typically don't raise their defense that often. But anyway, first form Cell. Here's this bastard. He was the humble Don. He put the shit crown on my head, okay? 75 million HP. For comparison's sake, this is why I want to do this video. Let's compare him to Omega or Sin. You know what I mean. 71 million HP for Sin, 75 for Cell, 480k versus 490k attack for Cell. He has more defense than Cell and more damage reduction. It doesn't feel like it, bro. I feel like I hit Omega. Maybe it's because I have... the STR 8-year LRs? I don't know. I felt like I couldn't put a dent in Cell until like the end of the 2nd turn. Like, it was bad. Cell was tanking me crazy. If you ask me, I would have said Cell might have had about 75% damage reduction. And maybe off the top of my head, I would have thought Sin had like 66, 68. I never felt an enemy this tanky this calendar year. This Cell is hard to kill, bro. But yeah, he was giving me a bit of a headache. he hits so hard because he raises his attack. I had noticed immediately. I'm like, yo, let me look at this. Let me see if I'm not paying attention. And he raises his attack for that turn. So if he is super uber aggressive with these supers. Every run I did with him, he was super attacking my unit in slot 1. I think literally every run I did. I didn't waste all my run. Did I? I did. I did all 5 runs. Every run I did, at least every one I cared to try on, I'm pretty sure every run was. Yeah, I want to say every run, at some point in the fight, he super attacked slot 1. Let's be straight. When I say every fight, all of my fights only lasted 2 turns. So that means either turn 1, slot 1, he super attacked me, turn 1, slot 2, he super attacked me, or the same thing for turn 2. It was really bad, and I could not find a way around him. I want to say with the exception of one attack, I want to say Ultimate Gohan might have nullified 1 Kamehameha, and that was the only time I think he had super attacked in slot 3. I can't remember if it was him or the 17, 18. It was bad, man. His super attack does 1.37 million. Omega's does 1.34. So they're damn near identical, but you're fighting Cell on turn 1. Like, it's crazy. So it's really mad. Hey, shout out to Joe Sane, because he's the one who was pointing it out to me. That's the bro, man. I need him twofold for that matter. So shout out to him again. He's the one who was pointing out to me how close they are statistically. And I was really frustrated. I'm like, yo, I'm going to talk about this in the morning. I had a team of like Gamma 1. Let me find my team. Gamma 1, Gamma 2. Oh, no. I didn't bring Gamma 2 to the Cell fight. What did I bring? I bought Gamma 1, Int Pan because I clearly needed to dodge, STR Piccolo, Physical Goku, STR 5-year Gogeta, and Physical Ultimate Gohan, along with another Gamma 1. There was nothing I could do. Like, Gamma 1 takes what, like 80k? I want to say he was taking... Rainbow Gamma 1 was taking 80k. My 55%er was taking 105k. It was rough, man. It was rough. And then Int Pan, she gets hit. She was dodging. She dodged like the first 2 and then got hit by the 3rd or something. She took 95k. I mean, my STR Piccolo is really good. He's the only unit in any of those situations I truly trust to take any type of attack without us directly dying, that is. That STR Banner unit Piccolo is... I really think he's up. He's higher in the better units in the game than a lot of people have talked about. When you talk about him, it's like, oh yeah, he's fire. But bro, if I made a list, he'd be up there. Physical Goku, he was just dodging. I don't remember seeing him take a specific number, but let's make it known. If he was getting hit, even with his guard, he'd be taking tremendous amounts of damage, unless he had gotten like 4 or 5 super attacks, and he was fine, but I'm sure he would be getting obliterated by Cell post super, that is. Like, let's say he dodges the Kamehameha. The super attack is nothing, but the normals for Cell are really crippling. And for me trying to do no item runs, like, I can't heal, so I'm dead in the water by the end of the turn, and now I'm walking into turn 2 just ready to die. And STR Gogeta, I didn't get to take advantage of him because I want to say we were dying too soon. Like, I couldn't transform at all. So I didn't see Blue Gogeta once last night. And then, like I said, Physical Ultimate Gohan, him being there for his nullification, it did pop off, I want to say twice last night. Once against Cell and once against the androids, or maybe twice against the androids. It was good. It was helping. I can't hate on him too much. I appreciated it. So I'm really humiliated, man. I really got humbled. I couldn't be either of these fights. I have not been this frustrated with day one, content on Dokkan since Cell Max came out, which is funny because Cell Max blindsided both versions. So you think it's an easy fight, and then you realize he hits you for 2 million on his super attack damn near, and you realize, oh, they conned us. They did that on purpose. Now the issue is this fight, and I'm just assuming every stage. I just want to reiterate, these are only stages 1 and 2 out of what might be 5, 6, 7 stages. Oh man, I almost let one slip. The celebration hasn't begun. The actual worldwide celebration has not begun. So I would assume part 1 and part 2 are each going to bring at least 2 fights. A total of 6 fights. Maybe it'll have 7. I don't know. This is going to be the hardest set of stages in the entire game. I've never seen as the preliminary fights to what I expect to be the hardest fight in the game, I've never seen anything like this. Red Zone was not like this. No iteration of Red Zone was like this. Like I said, Cell Max is like a playground event. He's a simulation event, but I guess him being one stage, whatever. There's nothing else. I've Shadow Dragons, hell no. It's nothing like this, man. So with that being said, I've seen people do it with like World Tournament Tech Goku. I know Joe beat it with that team. Another one he did run Junior on one of his teams. I forgot what the other team he ran was. I need to go find. But yeah, props to him. I was being hard-headed. I didn't want to use a Sensu. I didn't want to use a Whis. I was being stubborn, and I got exactly what I deserved. There's no trophies for no item runs, bro. It's just my ego, man. It really is. So I'm gonna leave it there. I think I've spoken enough. I've babbled in you guys' ear. It's been 16 minutes. I thought it was been like 9. What the hell? Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go. Is this the hardest fight in the game? Is this Cell at this moment before Worldwide begins? Is he the hardest fight in the entire game? Let me know, man. Turn 1, y'all gotta be ready. Young Hitman is off this.